女士们、
Ladies and gentlemen,
各位媒体朋友，大家
respected
上午好。
journalists and media
随
friends,
着
good
船
morning.
舰组合体转运至发射场区，
So
备受
when
关注
the
的
complex
神舟
of
14号
the
载人飞行任
spacecraft moved
务已
to
经
the
进入发
launching
射前的
area,
关键阶段。
and we're at the very
昨天
critical
下午，
point of
空
time
间站阶
before the
段
launch.
飞行任务
And
总指挥部召
yesterday,
开会议，
the command
研究
center
确定了
of the space
神舟
station
14号飞
has
船
studied
发射计划
and
和
decided on the
航天
plan
员
for the
飞行
launch,
乘组。
as well as
今
the
天我们
team
邀请到
members of the
中国载人航
technonauts
天
for
工
this
程新
mission.
闻发言人、
And today, we
中国载
invited
人航
the
天工程办公室
spokesperson
副主任
of
林
the
希
command
强先
center,
生
Mr. Lin
给大家
Xichang,
介绍情况，
to
并回答
introduce
各
the
位感兴
situation
趣的问题。
and to respond to the
首
questions
先，
from the
请
media
林希
friends.
强副主
First
任
of all,
介绍任务有关情
Director
况。
Lin, over to you.
各位媒体记者朋友们，
Dear media
大
friends,
家上午好。
good morning.
受任务总指挥部委托，由我
Authorized
向
by
大
the
家介
team
绍神舟14
of this
号
mission,
载
I'd
人
like
飞行
to
任务有
introduce
关情况。
the mission of the manned
经
spacecraft
总
of
指挥部
Shenzhou-14.
研究决定，
After
瞄
the
准
decision
北
made
京
by
时间
the mission
6月
command
5日
center
上午10时
on
44
June
分
5th,
发射神舟14号载
1444,
人飞船，
we're gonna launch
飞行乘组
Shenzhou-14
由
spacecraft.
航
The
天
team
员
will be
陈
composed
东、
of
刘
Dong
洋和
刘洋
蔡旭哲组
and
成。
Cai Xuzhe.
陈东担任指令长，
Chen Dong will be the team
他
member,
们
team
全部为
leader.
我国第二批
All
航
of the
天
three
员。
technauts
其
are
中
the second batch of
陈
the
东
technauts
参
in
加
China.
过
Chen
神
Dong
舟11
has
号
been engaged
载人
in
飞行任务，
Shenzhou-11
刘
mission.
洋参加
Liu
过
Yang
神舟9
engaged
号
in
载人飞
Shenzhou-9
行任务。
mission.
蔡旭哲是首次
Cai
飞行，
Xuzhe is
目前
the first time of
执
Cai
行
Xuzhe,
本次飞行任务的
and
长征2号 F 遥
the
14火箭
Long
即
March
将开始，
F
推进剂加注。
carrier rocket is going to be launched.
神舟14号载人飞行任务
Shenzhou-14
是空间
manned
站
spacecraft
建造阶段第二次飞
is
行任务，
taking the second
也是
mission during
该
the
阶段
course
首
of
次载
the
人飞行任务。
establishment of the
航天员
space
乘
station
组
of
将在
China
轨工
The
作
team
生活
members
6个月，
is going to
任务
experience
的
6
主要目的
months
为
of life in
配
space.
合
The
梦
major
天实验
missions
舱、梦天
is
实验
to
舱与
support
核心舱的交
the
会对接
experiment
和转位，
modules of 问天、
完成
梦天
中国空间
and
站
the core
在
modules
轨
of
组
Tianhe's
建造，
experiment and assembly
完
missions
成空
of
间站
the
舱
space
内外
station
设
of
备
China,
及
and to
空间
finish
运用
the
任务
device and
相关
equipment
设施设备的
operations, as well as
安装
the
和调试，
verification assembly of the
开展
devices
空间
in
科
the
学实
space
验
station
与
to carry
技术
out
实
the
验，
experiment in outer space
进行
and
日常
technological
维护维修
testing
等相关
experiment
工作。
and maintenance of
按
the
计划
devices.
神舟
As
14
per
号
schedule,
载人飞船入轨后
Shenzhou-14 spacecraft,
将采用
after
自主
successfully
快
orbiting,
速交会对接
will
模式，对接
enter
于
into the
天河核
rendezvous
心舱正
process
向端口，
and
与
to
天
dock
河核心
with
舱
the Tianhe
及天舟3
and
号、天舟4
天舟
号货运飞船
3 and
形
4
成组合体。
vehicles
在
to
轨驻留
complete
期
a
间，
complex.
神舟
And
14
during the
号
stay,
乘组3名航天员
Shenzhou-14 team,
将迎来空
the
间
three
站
team members
2个试验舱
will
以
have
及天舟5号货运飞
the
船、
missions
神舟
to be
15号
accomplished
载人飞
in
船
the
的
two
来访对接，
experiments,
并与神舟
modules
15号飞行
and
乘组进
also
行
together
在轨轮换，于
to have the
12月
shift
返
taken
回
over by
空中服务。
Shenzhou-15
目
teams.
前，天河核心舱
Right now,
与
the
天舟
core
3号、
modules of
天舟4
Tianhe
号组合
and
体
Tianzhou
状态
3 and
和
4,
各项设备工作正常，
its conditions and also the relevant conditions of the devices are in the normal process, and they are already verified proper and suitable for the
长征
operation
2
in
号
orbit.
F 遥
And
14
Long
运载火
March
箭
F
产品
carrier
质量受控
rocket, the quality
航天
of
员
this
飞行
rocket
乘组
is
状态
controllable,
良好，
and the conditions of the team members of the
设施设备
technauts are
运
good.
行稳定。
The devices are
发射
operating
前
smoothly
各项
before the
准备
launch.
工作已
All of
基
the
本推进。
preparations are also
以上是
prepared
这次任务的有关
and
情况。
ready. So this is
下
the
面
brief
我
introduction
愿意
of
回
this
答大
mission.
家的提问。
I'd like to respond to the questions.
下面请媒体朋友们提问。提问前请通报所
So
在编辑部。
before raising your question, please identify yourself and your
第二
organization.
排那位穿白色衬衣的记者。
Good morning. I'm with the Xinhua News Agency. I'm asking about the Shenzhou-14. After 2 months of the accomplishment of the mission of Shenzhou-14, I want to know the situation of their physical conditions of the team members of the technonauts. Thank you for your care for Shenzhou-13 missions. In the space station process, after the return of the technonauts of Shenzhou-13, they are experiencing the physical and psychological maintenance and also the rehabilitation of their physical and psychological situations. And also they are experiencing 3 stages of observations. And this year, the Shenzhou-13 members were happy and tragical, and they have returned back to Beijing, and the team members of Shenzhou-13 have finished the first stage of the quarantine and rehabilitation. And they are using the rebalancing workouts and in-water workouts and Chinese traditional medicine rehabilitation. These are 3 technonauts, their physical conditions, their balancing conditions, and their resilience, and also their conditions of their organs are in the normal situation and status. Right now, these are 3 technonauts, as per schedule, are experiencing the second stage of their rehabilitation for another 2 months. The key critical elements is on the bone and also the muscles recovery, as well as the other relevant rehabilitation procedures. So the 3 technonauts, their physical and psychological conditions are good, and their psychological and physical conditions are recovering according to the schedule. So for this mission members, the rehabilitation process are the first rehabilitation process carried out for the technonauts after 6 months of the missions in outer space. This would lay solid foundation for normalized long-term missions in outer space. Thank you.
我们继续提问，请第2排这位女记者。
好，谢谢主持人。
Thank
发
you.
言你好，我是中央广播电视总台央视记者。我的问题是，
with the
神舟14号
CCTV.
航天员在轨任务期间呢，
So
将会
during the
迎来问天
missions
和
of
梦
the
天两个实验
Shenzhou-14,
舱。
they
那
are
么
going
刚才
to
您介绍完之后，我们也知道这也是
dock
中
with
国航天
the
员第一次在轨
Wentian
迎接
and Mengtian
舱的
modules.
到
This
访
is
空间
actually
站
the
啊。
first
那不
time
知道在这次的
to
任务当中，
dock
我们
with
航
the
天
2
员
experiment
做了哪些
modules.
准备，
So
同
what
时他们要面
preparation
临
has
这
been
么多的
done
挑
for the
战，他们
technonauts
为
for
此
this
有没有做
mission?
一些针对的
And
训练？谢谢。
are they have been experienced any training specifically for this mission?
谢谢你的提问。
Thank you for the question.
神舟14号飞行任务
Shenzhou-14
是我
mission
国空间站建造阶段第一
is
次
the first mission for manned spacecraft for the construction of a space station, and during the course of the mission, they will finish the core modules of Tianhe, Mengtian experiment module, and Wentian experiment modules establishment, and finish the construction of the space lab. So the Shenzhou-14 technonauts, they will be coordinating with the ground crews to finish the rendezvous and preparations for the 2 experiment modules. And for the first time, they will enter Mengtian module and Wentian module to finish the verification of the conditions in the modules and to carry out the double modules and triple modules experiment, and also the relevant conditions verification inside the modules. For the first time, they would stay in the airlock module of Wentian, and before that, we are only in a very experimental environment in that module, and they would also finish more than 10 experiments, the assembly and disassembly of the devices within Wentian module and Mengtian module, and also they will carry out the outer space lectures. And at the same time, they will carry out the physical condition monitorings and rendezvous training, as well as the numerous platform monitoring, verification, checks, maintenance, and also the quality management of the materials in outer space. So it is fair to say that during the orbiting period, the technonauts would encounter a lot of challenges, including the number of the missions is very big, and also the conditions can be very arduous. And they have to encounter and experience the changes of the conditions. And especially for the first time, they have to take the missions for the minor arms and the big arms and the docking of the two modules. And also they will finish 5 times of the docking and 3 separation and evacuation and 2 transfers, as well as 2 extravehicular activities. So for the technonauts for this mission, they have to face with a lot of challenges, and missions is very demanding. And the response to these challenges, based on the training that we have carried out, we have carried out the 3 aspects of specific trainings for the technonauts for this mission. First of all, for the Wentian module and the Mengtian module, so they have experienced the training for the docking of these 2 and the physical conditions guarantee, materials guarantee, and management over the devices. So the mission members, the technonauts, have been equipped with the basic abilities to do these jobs. Also, the minor arms and the air pressure monitoring modules and also the devices has to be maintained. And the technonauts for this mission, they are able to do this job as well. The third training aspect is that they have to encounter a large number of the experiments in triple modules. So they have to carry out the missions and activities in 3 modules. So the technonauts for this mission, they have been trained specifically in this regard. And for many times, we also have allocated the missions for the communications between the mission members of Shenzhou-14 and Shenzhou-13, so that in the future they can further verify and modify the future mission quality and guarantee the healthy state and also their work conditions in the long-term mission. Thank you.
请第4排这位男记者。
主持人好，发言人好，总台央视中文国际频道记者提问。
I'm from
在空间
CCTV.
站关键技术验证阶段呢，机械臂
So
是
during the
部件
verification
据了解，在空间站建
process,
造阶段
the
还将上行新的小机械臂
equipment arms, especially the minor arms, the verification is very important. So please introduce a little bit the difference of the minor arms versus the normal arms.
谢谢你的提问。
Thank you for the
确实
question.
如你所说，
Yes,
机械臂
I
是
agree
空
with you.
间站的
The
明星部件之
The
一。
robot arm is a
我们在
very
后续
important
发射的
and
问天试验
critical
舱配
element
置了一个小机械
of the
臂，
device. And we have
与已随
set
核
up
心舱
a minor robot
入轨
arm
工作的大机械臂相比，
compared to the big
主要有
arm
以下几
for
个
the
特点。
orbiting. There are several
一是
features of the
更加的
minor
精巧。
arm. First of all, it is
小机械臂
very
的重量
refined.
和
The
长度
weight of the
均约
minor
为
arm,
大
the
机械
length
臂
of
的
the
一
minor
半，
arm is
负
half
载
of
能
that
力
of the big
约
arm.
为大
And
臂
the
的
payload
1/8，
is
相
1/8
应的
of that
目
of
标适配
the
器
big
也
arm.
更加精巧，
Also, the element
小臂
is
的运
pretty
动
much
和操
refined.
控灵
The
活。
resilience and operability
二是
of the minor
更加
arms is
精
more
准。
flexible. And second,
小
it's
臂
more
的
precise.
末端定
The
位精
minor
度
arm,
更高，
the end point
和大臂相
precision
比，
or
位置精
directional
度
position
优于
is
大臂的
even
5倍，
higher versus
姿态
the
精度
big arms.
优于
And
大臂
the
的2倍，
position precision is
能
2
够完
times
成
of that of the
精
big
度
arms.
要求更
It
高
can
的
finish
在轨的
the
精细工作。
emissions, especially the fine
三
tuning
是
in the
可
orbiting
与大
process.
臂级
At
联
the
营
same
造，
time, it
也
can
就
work
是
with the big arm.
小机械
It
臂
means that
可
the
被
minor
大
arm
机械臂抓住，
can
形
be
成组合机械臂，
caught by the big
舱外
arm
作
and
业
to
覆盖
be
范围
combined
更广，
together as complex.
通过
It can
大
cover more
范围转
missions,
移，满足
and
去
it
往
can
不同位
transfer
置
the
进行
numerous
精
materials
细作业
from
的
one
需求。
place to another place in distance.
在担负的任务上，
And in terms of the
首先
missions
与大
and
机械臂
tasks
相似，
it can take,
小机
it
械臂
is
通
very
过
similar to
目
the
标
big
适配
arms.
器连接
Through
分离切
the
换，可实
adapters
现独
and
立
the
舱外爬
separators,
行，
it can
完
operate
成航
the
飞员出舱活动，
extravehicular
支持
activities and to
舱外
support
状态检查等
extravehicular
任务。
activities done by the
其次，
technonauts
小机械
outside of
臂
the
可以
spaceship.
发
At the
挥
same time, the
自
minor
身
arm
精巧
can
精
also
准的特点，完
precisely
成精度要求
finish
更高的各类
the
载
more
荷
refined
和平台设备的舱外
payload
安装、
missions.
维护和照料 等精细操作。小机械臂还可通过组合臂转接件实现与大机械臂的节点组合，实现航天员和载荷的大范围作业。如后续我们需要在舱外安装的设备，可以通过货运飞船上行至梦天实验舱的货物气闸舱，然后通过组合臂的抓取和转移，完成在舱外载荷平台上的安装。此外，大小机械臂还可协同开展舱外操作任务，还能完成互巡互检的自身维护工作，有效提高了整个机械臂系统的可靠性。可以说，空间站配置的大小2个机械臂，分工各有侧重，又相互配合，在轨可以实现1+1大于2的实用功能，满足空间站任务的需求。谢谢。
继续提问，请第一排这位提问。
好，谢谢主持人，我是中央纪委国家监委新闻传播中心的记者。请问发言人，此次发射任务完成后，我们还将发射问天、梦天2个实验舱，为开展空间科学实验提供了更大的平台。可否请您介绍一下，工程在空间应用方面有哪些重要规划？近期将开展哪些科学实验？预期取得哪些重要成果？谢谢。
感谢你的提问。作为国家太空实验室，中国空间站舱内可以部署25台科学实验柜，这个每台实验柜都是一个小型的太空实验室，可以支持开展单学科或多学科交叉的空间科学实验，整体上达到了国际先进水平。其中，在问天实验舱主要面向空间生命科学研究，配置了生命生态、生物技术和变重力科学实验等实验柜，能够支持开展多种类植物、动物、微生物等在空间条件下的生长、发育、遗传、衰老等响应机理研究，以及密闭生态系统的实验研究，并通过可见光、荧光、显微成像等多种在线检测手段，支持分子、细胞、组织、器官等多层次生物实验研究，还能够提供0.01到2G 的变重力模拟，支持开展不同重力条件下生物体生长机理的对比研究。梦天实验舱主要面向微重力科学研究，配置了流体物理、材料科学、燃烧科学、基础物理以及航天技术实验等多学科方向的实验柜，支持开展重力掩盖下的多相流与相变传热、基础燃烧过程、材料凝固机理等物质本质规律研究，以及超冷原子物理等前沿实验研究。同时，我们在天宫2号空间冷原子钟的基础上，将建立世界上第一套由氢钟、蠕钟、光钟组成的空间冷原子钟组，构成在太空中频率稳定度和准确度最高的时间频率系统，支持开展引力红移、精细结构常数测量等前沿科学研究。此外，我们在实验舱外还安排了材料舱外暴露实验装置、元器件与组件舱外通用实验装置，用于开展舱外实验项目。后续还将发射与空间站共轨飞行的巡天空间望远镜，开展广域巡天观测。针对上述舱内的科学实验机柜， 舱外的实验装置和巡天空间望远镜。在空间站建造阶段，共安排了近100项试验研究项目。后续转入常态化运营后，还将实施较大规模的科学研究，预期将有力推动暗物质与暗能量、星系形成演化、物质本质规律、生命现象本质和人在太空的响应变化规律，以及地球可持续发展等重大前沿科学问题的突破，为未来我国开展近地以远的载人空间探索提供深厚的科学和技术积累。谢谢。
由于时间关系，我们最后一个问题，请第一排这位女记者。
谢谢主持人。您好，解放军新闻传播中心记者。请问，一段时间以来，新冠疫情形势复杂多变，空间站建造任务非常密集，但各项计划任务都在按期进行。能否请您介绍一下，整个这段时间以来，我们是怎么样能够克服疫情影响，确保这个各项计划任务按期顺利进行？谢谢。
感谢你对工程研制工作的关心。空间站建造任务时间紧，任务重，涉及的行业领域多，高效统筹任务准备与疫情防控是工程各系统各单位面临的重大课题。特别是近期奥密克戎病毒在国内多点散发，对位于北京、上海、西安、长春等地的承担工程重要研制任务的单位带来了很大的挑战。为确保空间站按期完成建造，工程权限坚持任务安全和防疫安全两手抓、两手硬，努力减少疫情对任务的不利影响。一是坚持筑牢疫情防控屏障，各系统各单位严格落实党中央、国务院和所在地党委政府决策部署，以最严的标准、最高的要求抓好各项疫情防控措施落实。特别是我们全体航天员，从今年3月份起，就参照3级隔离制度，实施严格的风控管理，确保训练任务全部落实。二是坚持一切工作往前赶。2020年新冠疫情出现后，我们一直坚持未雨绸缪，加强任务和疫情的预先研判，紧前安排推进各项工作，在与时间赛跑中争取最大赢量。三是坚持优化管理模式，尽量通过信息化手段开展工作协调，避免人员流动和聚集。按照最小化原则，组织协调一线关键岗位人员在办公、科研、生产区内封闭管理，保证重点工作均有业务骨干在岗，确保研制进度。四是坚持发挥组织功能，通过成立临时党支部、青年突击队等方式，充分发挥基层党组织的战斗堡垒作用，团结和带领大家扎实做好任务准备和疫情防控各项工作。回顾空间站建造任务准备和实施的过程，我们感到，一方面，工程权限始终发扬载人航天精神，奋力拼搏，同舟共济。有的研制队伍在测试现场一封闭就是几个月。很多同志舍小家为大家，涌现出很多感人事迹。另一方面，我们始终得到了中央国家机关以及各属地政府的全力支持保障。在此，我谨代表任务总指挥部对社会各界的大力支持、工程权限的 our
group, I would like to say a great thank you for all of you. And later on, we will ensure a clear head and a sober heart, and also to make sure that the construction of the space station to be completed according to the schedule, and also to welcome the 20th Party Congress. Thank you. Due to the time limit, I would like to announce the completion of the press conference, and thank you, Mr. Liu Xuqiang. And we will use the media and our official website of the China Manned Space Agency to release all these stories, and I hope this mission ever success. Thank you.